An AI looked at a scan for 2 seconds and spotted something a human doctor almost missed. This is already happening in hospitals. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a genuinely fascinating shift in modern medicine. We are looking at the incredible synergy that's developing between human doctors and artificial intelligence. And look, this isn't some dystopian sci-fi story about machines taking over the hospital. Actually, it's a super empowering look at how new tech is giving our medical experts a vital new tool to work faster, see clear, and ultimately save a lot more lives.
Okay, let's dive into this. An AI looked at a scan for 2 seconds and spotted something a human doctor almost missed. This is already happening in hospitals. That quote? It's not a prediction for 2050. It's the reality we are dealing with right now, today. Because, in medical imaging, the stakes literally could not be higher. Every single second and every single pixel matters. Section 1, the 2-second second opinion. So to really get why this is such a game changer, we have to talk about a massive bottleneck in healthcare right now. Medical imaging generates just a staggering amount of data. I mean, radiologists go through over 10 years of intense medical training to read these images, but the sheer volume of scans they review every single day, it can lead to severe fatigue. They're searching for these tiny, subtle abnormalities hidden in a mountain of visual information. It's like finding a needle in a haystack over and over again. Which is exactly why a whopping 81% of U.S. physicians now report using AI professionally in some capacity. In radiology, algorithms are stepping in to rapidly detect urgent, life-threatening issues. Think about a patient coming in with a suspected stroke. Every single minute counts, right? AI can analyze the CT scan instantly, flag that stroke, and bump that case to the very top of the doctor's work list. That drastically reduces the time to treatment, which means way better outcomes for the patient.
Section 2, how medical AI actually learns. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is,
How does a computer actually know what a tumor or a stroke looks like? Well, it's not magic, it's a highly structured process. At the core of this whole revolution is something called deep learning. Now, without getting completely bogged down in technical jargon, deep learning is essentially just pattern recognition on a hyper-efficient scale. It uses artificial neural networks with multiple layers to process data. So it learns what a disease looks like by analyzing massive amounts of information. Honestly, far more data than a human could ever review in a single lifetime.
and this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. When analyzing an image, a convolutional neural network processes the data layer by layer. The first layers might just detect really basic stuff, like edges and contrasts. But as the data moves deeper through pooling and convolutional layers, the AI starts recognizing complex shapes and finally, whole structures, like a lung nodule or a microcalcification. So how does it actually learn to make that diagnosis? It happens in steps. First, researchers input hundreds of thousands of labeled scans. These are images that human experts have already marked up, explicitly saying, okay, this is cancer or this is healthy tissue. Second, the algorithm studies these hundreds of thousands of labeled scans to recognize the underlying mathematical patterns associated with the disease. And third, once it's actually deployed in a hospital, it applies that knowledge to brand new, unseen scans, highlighting potential anomalies with a gentle glow on the doctor's screen. But here is where we absolutely must pivot our understanding. It doesn't replace doctors. It gives them a second opinion that never gets tired or distracted. That is the true reality of medical AI. It's an untiring assistant. It can scan its 1,000th image of the day with the exact same pixel-perfect focus as its very first. Section 3. The limits of the algorithm. Now, we definitely need to remember that AI has no hands, no bedside manner, and absolutely no broader clinical reasoning. Let's contrast the two for a second. The AI is pixel-focused, tireless, and incredibly fast. But the human radiologist, they bring the clinical context, the patient's history, and holistic judgment. For example, an AI might easily spot a tiny 5mm spot on a lung X-ray, but the AI doesn't inherently know the patient's life story. Only the human doctor knows to ask, wait, is this patient a lifelong smoker, or do they just have severe dandelion allergies? You see, that context completely changes the diagnosis. And this is exactly why human radiologists remain absolutely indispensable. AI is honestly pretty terrible at spotting rare diseases or weird edge case outliers, simply because it hasn't seen enough examples of them to learn the pattern. Human doctors are needed to integrate clinical history, synthesize lab results, catch the AI when it makes a confidently wrong mistake, and ultimately, sit down with the actual patient to educate them and explain the risks of a procedure. Section 4. The the perfect medical teammate. So, the crucial point is, the truth is, neither the human nor the machine operates at their absolute peak without the other. They're fundamentally better together. In fact, an MIT economics study tracking diagnostic accuracy found something fascinating. When a doctor is uncertain about a diagnosis, providing them with AI assistance significantly improves their accuracy. The AI acts as this fantastic safety net. However, the study also found that when the AI itself is uncertain about an image, relying on it can actually decrease performance. And that is exactly where the human's broad medical knowledge must step in to oversee the algorithm. Oh, and there's a surprising, almost cautionary fact from the research: automation bias. Studies in areas like colonoscopies have shown that if doctors over-rely on AI to spot things for them, their own standalone diagnostic skills can actually start to degrade over time. Human oversight has to stay sharp. The AI is a co-pilot. It's not an autopilot.
Section 5. Real results in hospitals. Let's move to and see how this builds.
Just look at this number, 29%. In a massive randomized controlled trial in Sweden called MASAI, which involved over 100,000 women, AI-supported mammography screening detected 29% more breast cancers compared to standard double reading by humans. And incredibly, it did this while reducing the radiologist's workload by 44%. That is the literal definition of a medical breakthrough. And it's not just breast cancer. Right now, today, AI is objectively measuring and tracking the scar-like plaques in the brains of multiple sclerosis patients over time, which lets doctors fine-tune medications. It's quantifying brain shrinkage in early Alzheimer's to give confident diagnoses. It's pinpointing early signs of lung and prostate cancer, and as we mentioned earlier, it is saving critical minutes by instantly flagging strokes on CT scans. It's providing objective measurements that enable proactive, personalized healthcare. Section 6. Your doctor's new superpower.
Ultimately, artificial intelligence in healthcare is a warm, empowering tool, not some cold, calculating replacement for the medical professionals we trust. It acts as a vital co-pilot. By placing a gentle, glowing highlight over a suspicious area on a scan, it frees radiologists from the sheer exhaustion of sifting through mountains of normal scans. This allows them to dedicate their deep expertise to the really complex cases, enabling faster, more accurate, and truly life-saving decisions.
We're going to leave you with this final thought to summarize everything we've uncovered today. AI won't be your doctor, but your doctor's AI might save your life. As these algorithms get smarter every single day, how soon will it be before a second opinion from a machine is a mandatory part of your checkup? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.